Watch me plan and fill up the biggest retreat that I have ever hosted in my whole entire life. This is the HESA, and I have a retreat coming up in December in Sedona, which means we are 4 months out. And at the moment I'm recording this video, we already have double the number of participants that we had at the last retreat. And in this video, I was literally just sitting here and making my next moves when it comes to my Sedona retreat. And I thought I would actually turn on the camera and record very quickly and share with you the things that I'm doing. First of all, the things that I have done already that has brought like double the number of participants at the moment, and the things that I'm going to continue to do, and what I'm doing in practicality, what I'm doing with my energetically, and also what I'm doing this time around with AI that is bringing results, right? Now, before I get started, the very first thing that I really want to talk about, I want to share with you is my experience hosting the very first retreat that I've ever hosted. I was only a few months in my business. And I remember how transformative it was for the participants to begin with, right? Like my work is all about really stepping into, like opening your heart in a very extraordinary way and giving it power for creation and for, like for growth in life and also in business, right? That is a power that I've utilized over and over and over again. And obviously it has increased since like over the years. But like this is something that I literally pay attention to, like focus on over and over again, right? Spirituality, spiritual growth is such a huge part of my life. And it plays such a huge role. Just even like hosting the retreat or like the way that I run my business plays a huge role in the growth of my spirituality. Right? And so when I first started my business, I already knew that. And I remember at the time I actually knew very little, but the very little that I knew, I wanted to share with whoever was available to actually hear, right, and have the experience. And I remember I was again only a few months into business, and I was like, I'm going to host this retreat in Sedona. And I had, I believe, about like 13 people show up live. Some people flew in from France, some people flew in from across the United States, some people flew in from, like over the years, we've had people from all over the place, from Switzerland, from Ireland, from again, from across the US. That's pretty much a norm. And it was really incredible. But what really, especially on that very first retreat, what struck, like really surprised me the most was not just, right, like again, like it was very much the beginning of my career, if you want to call it that. I wasn't very surprised by like how transformative it was for the participants, right? Because I knew I had already experienced this, what I was sharing, I knew how powerful it was. But beyond that, what I actually could not have imagined was how transformative it was going to be for me. I had such a huge jump, like in growth, just from running, like hosting that retreat the first time. And with every single retreat that I have hosted ever since then, right? The biggest number of participants that I've had so far at any of my retreats up until now has been, I believe, about 15 people. Now, now we are hosting. Now I have a huge plan. I have a huge vision for the next Sedona retreat. I have a vision of having 50 people showing up live for that retreat, right? But for that to happen, I have to do shit. Right? Again, we already have double the number of parties. Last time we had seven, we were seven in total. We already have double that number now. I want to share with you in this video, again, the things that I'm doing I have done in practicality. The things that I'm doing, I'm continuing to do and will continue to do. The reason why I believe 50 people is a no-brainer that it's going to happen. what I'm doing, did I say energetically, and also what I'm doing with AI this time around, right? One thing that I know for sure is when we go in fully, like a lot of things can happen, right? Which is the space I'm in now. The number one mistake I made last time, the last retreat that I hosted, was that I waited too long to start inviting people. I literally waited 1 month before the retreat to start inviting people to the retreat, right? That's a huge mistake that a lot of us may make sometimes, one time or another. But I know that's a huge mistake that I made last time that I was hosting my retreat. And even in Sedona, like I remember with all the participants, one of the things that, like a lot happens in Sedona, and what happens in Sedona really stays in Sedona, much of it. But like one thing that towards the end, one thing that each participant did was really decide that there is one part of our character, because really our character plays a huge role in the way that we create in life. There's one part, because of everything that we had done actually prior to that, everybody got to choose like one part of maybe bad habit or character that they are letting go of, right? For the purpose of their vision and their growth. And I know that for me at that time, one of the biggest thing was I was still a bit in like waiting too long, right? Waiting, procrastinating, waiting, like pushing things all the way to the edge before making my moves, right? And that is something that I like so consciously let go of in Sedona at the last retreat. And sure enough, as I did that, when I came back the very first week, I started thinking about what are the different ways that I can fill up this retreat. And because it's like I'm in it, like I'm really choosing to have 50 people at that retreat, right? And so what ended up happening was that, because even like the people in the last retreat, they loved it so much that some of them then decided to come back to December retreat, right? That's the number one thing. A lot of the times we think that we have to start things over, but like what I've realized is that actually you can start where it is the easiest. Where it is the easiest is to have a conversation or talk to the people who already know the value of like for me in my case here, the people who already knew like the value of the Sedona retreat, they were the first people, obviously the first people that I was like, oh, would you like to come back next time? It wasn't during the retreat. I do not like at all pitching anything. I don't know. So like at the retreat, at the end of the retreat, there was no such thing. But like after the retreat, right, like when some of them themselves actually reach out to me and be like, I actually like when you do the next one, I'll, and even some of them at the retreat themselves, at the retreat itself, expressed their wanting to come back, right? And then eventually for some of them, the dates weren't working for them, but for some of them the dates were working perfectly, and then they signed up, right? So that's the first layer that like I really like for filling up this retreat. I started looking at it from the perspective of layers, right? I started having conversations with the people who already know the value of the retreat, who already loved it, who already experienced like deep transformation from the retreat, and who already expressed the wanting to come back again, right? And so that's how like I filled up the first layer. And then obviously the second thing that I did was, okay, there are some people in my realm, some people in my program, some people, for example, in Unity, who they really, really value the work that we do. They already know how powerful it is for them. It's been for them. And so the next step, but they have not been to Sedona. We haven't met in person yet. So the next step was, I knew there were some of them in there who will want to come to my next Sedona retreat, who want to have some experience, in-person experience especially with the fact that by then they had heard how from the other participants, from the people who had been at my last retreat, who were in unity, and they shared with, obviously when you are in a group, they speak with each other even privately, and then they shared with each other. And then what ended up happening is that more humans in unity then also signed up to come to the retreat, right? The reason why this is actually really good, the reason why if you're hosting a retreat, for example, you may want to do it that this way, is because like when you're going in like this and then you already also have people signed up for your retreat, it's a little bit of social proof, right? A lot of people sometimes may be skeptical because maybe they don't necessarily know you all that well and stuff like that. And when they see that other people are trusting in you that way, other people are raving about your work, other people are raving about like how amazing it was for them, how transformative it was for them to attend that retreat, then a part of them can feel a little bit more at ease with signing up, right? So that's those are the first two things that I did that have attracted people signing up for the retreat. Then something really amazing also happened. So like what happened was I reached out to every single person, not every single person, people that have been to the either my last retreat or previously in any retreat with me, with whom I am still in touch with whom I've been having conversations on and off, like over the time, right? So those are the things that I did. Sometimes we underestimate it, and sometimes we feel like what if they say no and stuff like that. But for me, the way that I really look at it is I really think about like what's in it for them, right? And if I'm only thinking, if I'm not only, obviously I think about myself as well, like the growth that I myself I'm going to experience as well, right? But when I'm thinking about, oh my God, like they're going to have this experience, like their heart is going to open so much, it's going to impact their business, it's going to impact their lives. When they go home, it's going to impact their family. Like, why wouldn't I share, right? Why wouldn't I share? And so like one of the things, before I actually move forward with the next thing, one of the things that happened when I started, right, because for those people, because these are humans that, again, like I have like communication, I've had communication with. Some of them were clients and then like not clients anymore. Some of them on and off clients. Some of them had come to Sedona before and all of these things, right? And so like I feel like one of the things that I value the most in my life, in my business, right? Again, like life in general and also business, is the relationships that I create with people in my life, right? And so I value that so much that like I literally sat down and created like this very personalized like emails for like the humans like that I wanted to send these messages to, right? And when I did, a few of them replied, and then a couple of them didn't reply right away, right? There's a reason I'm sharing this, okay? The reason why I'm sharing this was that it really like brought up some things for me. I was like, wow. Like a lot of the times we don't make these moves because we are so afraid, oh, I'm going to feel disappointed, or I'm going to feel a certain kind of way, right? So when those like a couple of people who didn't reply, I just like I love watching myself and watching my reaction. It wasn't necessarily something that somebody from outside could see, but my reaction inside. I remember like one of the things that happened was I was like, oh my God, I thought we had a better relationship than that. It's like, I was like, oh, like I could tell that a part of me was hurt a little bit from the fact that like I just sent you an email, a message that I spent like I poured my heart into this message, and then you totally ignored the message, right? So I was watching myself like that. Obviously, it's never about the other person. And when I'm talking about like business growth, for me is really like a playground for spiritual growth. That's exactly what I mean, because then it gave me the opportunity to ask myself, why are you feeling like that, Tehessa? It's like are you wanting to make like other people's life, like you want to be the center of other people's life, blah blah blah. Anyways, So that's something that I allowed myself to process. And then as I continued to go, whether somebody replied to me or not, it didn't like it didn't, it's like I always go from like from then on. I was like, okay, only think about like what change you are inviting them into, right? Think about it. Think about the change that you are inviting them into. This is not about you, Dehesa. This is not about you, Dehesa. And in reality, what it did for me was it really helped me open my heart even deeper than before, right? This is just a little bit of a parenthesis. To share a little bit all the behind the scenes with you. Right? So those are the things that I've done. And then the most amazing thing that also happened was that about three of our past participants, actually more than that, four, four of the past participants, right? Like some of them are from this particular like last retreat, and some of them are from previous retreat. Really spontaneously, which is why I like this moves me so much, right? This wasn't necessarily because I asked them to do it, right? Like very spontaneously said, I actually want to invite other people to come have access to this retreat because it's changed me so much. It will be, it's like I really like from the bottom of like literally genuinely they offered to invite other people to come to the retreat. And this isn't the first time it's happened, by the way. We've had, like in the past, I've had a whole family, like mother, father, and daughter come together, which is amazing. I've had one participant who, like, she first came by herself, and then the next round she came with her daughter, and then this time around she already signed up. Her daughter possibly like is looking into her schedule to see if she can come and stuff like that, right? So this is nothing new, but like I was so appreciative, especially by the fact that they spontaneously decided that they want to invite other people into coming to this retreat, right? And so like they haven't done that yet, but like they actively, literally, like have reached out to me and say, hey, how do we make this work, right? Some of them, it's just like people in their families, people, their friends that they want to invite. And so we're going to work on that. And for some of them, they actually have their own audiences, which is like epic. Actually, as I'm recording this video, next week I have one of my old clients. She's like old and new and old and new. She comes and goes, and like every now and then she dips in. She's actually the very, very person human that has ever experienced like such a retreat with me. For her, like at the time it was just her who came. She flew in all the way from Germany. I remember this. And it was quite epic for her. So epic that when she heard, like again, this was so spontaneous. This is incredible. When she heard that I'm doing this retreat again, she was like, I think I want to invite my audience. Will you come and talk about it? And so we're doing that next week also. So a lot of this is happening. What I know is that I'll keep moving and I'll keep focusing on it. Right? I'll keep focusing on it, and it'll continue to grow and it'll continue to grow. Right? So those are some of the things that I have done, like in practicality. The other thing that I did this time around, which is, we're in the era of AI, right? We're in the era of AI. One thing that I've done is, like in the past, like whenever I had mentioned Sedona retreat, some people who have, or they hear somewhere that I've had a retreat, they will email and say, the next time you have a retreat, please let me know, right? So we have had quite a few people like that email us. We haven't been really, really good at tracking the people who had sent the emails over the months and over time, right? So one thing that I did this time around, thanks to AI, hiccups, oh my goodness. Thanks to AI, I literally connected my chat GPT to, oh my God, to my email, and then asked ChatGPT to scan my email and find anybody who has ever expressed interest in my Sedona retreat, and give me the email, give me the names, And then I just simply had my assistant. This is like something that I was doing just now. This is what really prompted this email, by the way, right? This video. And I was like, okay, my assistant, like, why don't you reach out to them and see, like what happens if they're still interested and stuff like that. So as I'm recording this video, I don't know what's going to come out of it yet, but like, I mean, it's like, it's not something that we usually do, right? So like other things. So like I talked about in practicality, some of the things that I have been doing, that I have done energetically. Oh, I want to talk about energetically. Some of the things. This one is so good. Whether it's about you hosting a retreat or you doing like, like having clients in your business, it's so powerful. I've done this over the years. I've done this for years and years. Right? It works. It works. It works. Right. One of the things I do with my mind, because with your mind you move energy all the time, right? Like as you taking action, as you putting yourself out there, as you being visible, as you making your offers, right? One of the things again that I do is kind of like play a movie in my mind, right? But not just play a movie, but play a movie and feel all the feelings, right? For me, it is so epic. Like I have so much fun with this. Like I see, like I often, like what, when I'm playing this movie in my head, oftentimes I'm thinking about the change that's going to happen for the participants. I'm changing about the change that's going to happen for their families when they go home, the change that's going to happen for in the business. I'm celebrating in my mind and in my heart all the things that are happening for the participants, right? I see myself, like I played this movie where I see myself also interacting with all the participants, even as I'm speaking about it now. Like you, when you do, you can feel your energy expanding in such a big way. I can feel my energy field and my energy body really getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? That is actually quite magnetic. I imagine myself having conversations during the retreat. I imagine maybe we dancing at the retreat, all the things that we're doing at the retreat. And for me, I focus so much on what happens for the people at the retreat. And whenever I do that, my heart just opens so big, and I become so much more passionate about doing all the things that I need to do to bring as many people as possible to my retreat. The next energetic thing that I do, it's energetic and also practical very much, is that I have a board, like a board behind me here, where it's almost like it's like using everything I'm talking about here is literally about moving energy towards your goals and vision, right? So like as I have the board in here. It's like, and then I have total number of participants. My total number of participants for the Sedona retreat is 50 people. And every time somebody signs up, I have a mini celebration, right? Whether I like you may have seen this, like me sharing this on Instagram. The reality is I wasn't doing it for Instagram. The reality was like I was doing it for myself. And then in the moment I was like, oh yeah, this would be a very good clip to share on Instagram. Why? Because it's like a celebration, like amplifies your energy so much. Like it's like one of my past mentors said something like celebration is a party thrown in the name of gratitude, right? Like I can feel, because I'm so sensitive to my energy, I can feel my energy expanding big every time that I am celebrating, right? And it's almost you telling your brain, oh my God, yes, we do, my brain, you're doing a good job and stuff like that. And then like every time somebody signs up, I put their names up there for myself and I celebrate, I send energy to it. It also helps me also imagine my brain really compute exactly all the things, because like all the things that we're going to do at the retreats, and because of the specific people who are coming to the retreat, right? And then like every time I add a name in there, I literally compute. Okay, so out of 50 people, if 14 people or 15 people signed up, how many people now do we have does my brain need to focus on bringing extra, right? So that one is a little bit like a mixture of practical and energetic. It is so powerful because a lot of the times, like it's like, again, it's like what you focus on literally just grows. Okay, so like if you ignoring something, that means you're not giving it energy. That means like it's slowing down the, its potential for happening, right? So for me, I look at everything as energy. Whether I am celebrating on my board, putting people's names on my board, it's literally I'm focusing on my goal and my vision. Or whether I'm celebrating in my mind and like dancing and doing all the things that and celebrating the change that happens for the people when they come there, it is also my way of moving energy towards the goal and vision, right? And it's also one way that I get to really activate myself on, because when I do that, when I think about the people who are coming, when I think about, like, especially when I think about the change that's going to happen for them, like I get so fired up. Like I just take action. I just keep moving and I just take action, right? And the last thing that I want to share before we move is, I know everybody is talking about visibility. You have to be seen and stuff like that. Like nowadays, like I have noticed that the more, like it's not just being visible, right? The more I show myself, I don't even know how to say this, right? On my social media, the more, first of all, like I've been sharing more organic content than ever before. And it definitely has made a difference, right? I've had people even reach out to me that I haven't reached out to personally, simply see a post that I made about either Sedona or something else, or me sharing something, and wanting to either work with me directly or come to Sedona or inquire about Sedona, right? So it is a thing that being seen, like if you have something super, super precious that you want to share with the world, people are buying all sorts of different things all the time, right? People are buying coaching all the time. People are buying transformation all the time. People are buying all the time, right? But in my opinion, people are buying differently. And also, in my opinion, if you are able in some way or somehow to really show yourself, share your content or share your work in some way, in a way kind of like that expresses a little bit more of who you are, it is more and more effective. Okay, so that's all I didn't. That's all I wanted to share. I didn't think this video was going to take this long. The Hessa, you may be talking too much, maybe. But I hope this was of service. If you watch this video and you want to know more about Sedona, or it really inspired you to want to come, right? Then definitely there will be a form below this video, and fill it up, and we have special offers for those who join those leads, and especially for early birds. And we'll make sure that we reach out to you, and we'll take the conversation from there. Right? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.